Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home. Very minimal equipment, very small space. So come into these workouts warmed up and ready to move, and let's get started. I've got Baloo here helping me today. So he's very interested in his toy, so hopefully he'll stay that way. All right, we're going to do some push-ups to start today. So I want to do them a little bit differently. We're going to go down halfway, starting halfway down. So I'm going to start on my knees to show you. If you normally do them on your toes, you can try that. This may be a little more difficult, so I'm going to go down, press halfway up, down, all the way up. That's one. Down, halfway up, down, all the way up. Two. We're just going to do 5 of these. Down, halfway up, down, all the way. 2 more. Down, halfway up, down, all the way. 1 more. Down, halfway, down, all the way. Okay, good. And if your puppy is out in your face, you're also done with your set. Okay. If you want to do more, of course, you can always do more, but sometimes it's better to start off with a smaller set when we've increased the difficulty of an exercise. Okay, now I'm going to have you lie down on your back, and we're going to do bridges with a knee extension. So, I'll move him over. On your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. You can have your hands right here beside your hips. You sit. In order to go up into the bridge, I want you to flatten your back to the floor, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Now we're going to hold this bridge and do knee extensions. So slowly, extending your knee out in the same line with that bent knee. Now your goal is to keep your torso, your hips, as still as possible as you do these knee extensions. Nice and slowly sit. He was so quiet while I was getting ready for this, and now he's all excited. Keep your hips up. Drive through your heel on the leg that's down. Breathe. Squeeze that tummy. Again, if this is really challenging, only do 5. This is the last one right here. And rest. The other thing you can do is do a few, come down, reset, and then do a few more. Okay, next we're going to stand up. So after 2 exercises on the ground, I want you to stand up slowly. Make sure that your blood pressure returns to normal and you don't get lightheaded and dizzy. Okay, now we're going to grab a small weight or a small medicine ball, if you have one. I'll raise this up a little bit. We're going to do a little squat with a diagonal reach. So I want your feet nice and wide apart, tummy tight. We're going to sit your hips back, reach down to your opposite toe, and then out to the diagonal out there. We're going to do 5 on each, so it only ends up being 10 squats. 4, of course, you can always do more if you would like. That's 5. So also realize that you probably want a pretty light weight here for that part of the exercise. Down, touch your toe. Now, when you go down to touch your toe, your hips are going back. Your knees are bending and your weight is in your heels for that squat. 2, 3, 2 more. Good deep squat. And if you can't reach your toe, that's okay. Reach for your opposite knee. That's okay. It's the same motion, same muscles used. All right, good. Again, like I said, you can always do more, but start with 5 on each since that's 10 squats. Okay, now we're going to do an upper arm exercise. We're going to do a triceps exercise. I've got my band set up over here. We're going to do an overhead triceps extension. So get that band up a little higher in your door or in a higher location wherever you secure your bands for your exercises. And I want you to stagger your feet so that you have good support, so that you can kind of lean forward at your hips without bending your back. So just tipping at the hips, keeping your back, torso nice and tall, shoulders down and back. You want your elbows right by your ears. You're going to press this out straight. 2, triceps extension. 3. Try to keep your elbows close to your ears. Keep your hands close together. 6, 7. Don't let your elbows move away from your ears. 9 and 10. Okay, good. You should really be feeling that right back in here in your triceps. If you're not, check your form. Remember, we're tipping at the hips here so that you can get that motion here, and then also we're not going down here. Your shoulder joint shouldn't be moving, only your elbow joint. Okay, good. Now we're going to lower back down to the floor and start back in that same position with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to do some bicycle abs. So importantly with this one, you want to flatten that back to the floor. So think about, it's a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, just so you've got a flat back. Everything is in a good alignment there. And then we're going to put one foot out and then the other foot out. And you can touch them down to the floor to start and make sure that you can hold that flat back. If you start to have back pain, keep those knees bent more. You can just do them like this, kind of alternating knee lifts. The other way you can do it is just alternate your feet completely. Let both of them touch down, really focusing on flattening that back, tummy nice and tight. And if you can do all of those without back pain, we'll try this one. So we're only going to do 10 total, so I'm only going to do a couple more here. And then if your back starts hurting or you really can't hold that, stop, reset, and then try a little bit more of a bent knee, and that should help keep your back flat and keep pain-free in that back. Okay. And now we're going to stand up and do one more balance exercise. So stand up slowly. I'm purposely getting up and down off the floor. And take as long as you need. Stand up with good form. And we're going to do one more balance exercise here. I've got my little furniture sliders. So if you have one of these, go ahead and grab one. We're going to do a single leg stance, sliding the furniture slider around and then back through. So we're going to go around, back through. I want your hips to stay as level as possible. So no getting into your hips like this. If that's happening, these muscles aren't working properly. So really get nice and level, around and through. This foot that's sliding around shouldn't be much pressure. It's just barely touching that slider. Just enough pressure to get it to move, not putting a lot of pressure on it. So stand near something you can hang on to for safety. Let's do 2 more. And good. So now we're going to switch feet. Importantly with balance, maintain good posture. So pull those shoulders down and back. And through. Around and through. Many times when people are doing balance, they want to look at their feet. And it makes sense because you're trying to figure out what your feet are doing. Once you've figured that out, trust that you know what you're doing. You can hang on to something, but use good posture. Keep your head, your chin tucked, thinking about a rope pulling up through the top of your head. We're going to do 2 more. Now, when you go through these again, if you do this circuit twice, I want the circle to be backwards. So we're going to go back and then around this way. Back and then around this way. So it'll challenge your muscles a little bit differently. It's always good to mix it up, kind of do a little bit differently each time. Okay, Go through those 1 or 2 more times if you have the time. Add a little cardio in order to keep your heart rate up, and always follow with a good cool down and stretch. Please message me if you have any questions or need any substitutions. Thanks everybody. Have a great workout.